After a heartbreaking loss last night to the Orlando Magic, the Chicago Bulls have once again featured their star, Zach LaVine, in the trade rumor column. He is now featured to not only the Los Angeles Lakers, but also the Toronto Raptors. We're going to break down all that in this episode of Bulls Digest. I'm your host, Joey Mercer, and just before we get into it, I just want to say that 97% of you are not subscribed. If you're looking for everyday content on the Chicago Bulls, then look no further. We're here doing it each and every single day of the week. There's no weekends off. I'm here every day, 7 days a week, and we're going to be talking about the team that we love the most, the Chicago Bulls. So stay tuned for all the trade rumors, game updates, player injury updates. Everything you need is going to be right here if it's something that is going to be of interest. So let's get right into it here. First off, I want to talk about LaVine going to the Raptors. How has he been linked to this, and where do we think this fits in? The Toronto Raptors have also been featured in a lot of trade rumors over the past couple of seasons, whether it had been Fred VanVleet, Pascal, OG to a lot of teams, and now it's a little bit different. The first thing that I saw online was that Zach LaVine no longer has Bulls Nation on his Twitter. He doesn't even use Twitter very often, and now he doesn't have Bulls Nation featured there, so he would have had to log on, go into his Twitter, and take that away from his bio. So that's definitely some speculation there that he knows the trade is imminent, or maybe it was just him being upset after a big loss last night to the Orlando Magic, which they definitely could have won. So this was the report I saw per Zach Lowe. I found this on Reddit, actually. It was a podcast he was talking about the Raptors. He said he won't be a primary decision maker. Defenders all around him. They have a lot of salary that they could put together that's not long term. Gary Trent Jr., Chris Boucher, Thad Young, that's close enough of a salary match for Toronto to get him there. $38 million. That they won't be pushed into luxury tax, save some money for Chicago, and throw in a couple picks. Suggested was 2028 and 2030. Chicago fans wouldn't be excited about that, but whatever, sorry. So, a little bit of an interesting take there. I don't think Gary Trent Jr., Thad Young, and Chris Boucher is enough to get it done. I just don't. Chris Boucher, the Raptors been looking at moving him. He's in and out of the lineup all the time. He's over 30 now, and Thad Young, obviously, he was already with the Bulls. Loved him when he was there. His tenure was great. But now he doesn't even make an NBA rotation, really, on the Toronto Raptors. Gary Trent is a solid player. He's not Zach LaVine. He's not a former All-Star. Gary Trent's a guy that might be able to get you high teens when it comes to points. But more likely, like 15 to 20 points max. And what else is he really doing? He's an okay defender, but he's not the type of player that Zach LaVine is. Those picks as well being protected in those years, I don't even know if that's going to do it. It might be the right value, but I'm just not enamored with that deal. I think the Lakers would be able to offer us a little bit more, which is why I'd be more inclined to take a deal from them. Which leads us to our second topic that I want to talk about today, being LaVine and the Lakers. So how is this going to look if the Lakers are interested in him? Well, reports actually came out today, if you were looking on social media, saying that the Lakers are in fact interested in him, and it is very real. That was per Jovan Buha, and they are also expected to show interest in DeMar DeRozan and Alex Caruso. We've talked about this in the past. I don't think we've touched on a DeRozan trade to the Lakers, but we have talked about Caruso rejoining the Lakers where he won a championship, of course, and Zach LaVine going to his hometown with the Los Angeles Lakers, and how that would fit alongside Anthony Davis and LeBron James. I showed you a mock trade, actually, of D'Angelo Russell, Rui Hachimura, maybe a Jalen Hood-Schifino, and maybe some other prospects or picks to lead to Zach LaVine plus, and something similar came up. When I was reading, it said that the Lakers aren't interested in including Austin Reeves in a potential Zach LaVine deal. Once again, per Jovan Buha. The most likely framework of a LaVine deal would center around Russell, who waived his implied no-trade clause over the offseason. It would also need to feature Hachimura or Vincent as additional matching salary, another player in either the team's 2029 or 2030 first-round pick, potentially with protections. Although if you ask Lakers fans what they think about D'Angelo Russell, they're pretty lukewarm, if not very cold on him. They don't seem to like him. I think D'Angelo Russell is a better player than Gary Trent Jr. Although he can be a bit streaky, I think he brings a lot more to the table for not only what we need, but just more value, and you're going to get more out of D'Angelo Russell than you are out of Gary Trent Jr. D'Angelo Russell has been a fringe all-star player in the past when he was on the Brooklyn Nets, and I think he is much better long-term than Gary Trent Jr. If we're also able to add Rui Hachimura, I believe that he brings more value to the team than Chris Boucher and Thad Young combined. I don't even know if there's much of a debate for that. The picks for the Lakers as well, where they're aging so much compared to the Raptors picks, could potentially mean more. The Lakers are always trying to compete, but where are they going to be once LeBron retires and if AD's body finally breaks down? That's hard to say, and you would have to think that those picks could be worth more than the Toronto Raptors picks. If they're also able to add in if it was just Gabe Vincent, I don't like that as much as Rui Hachimura, but it's still better value than Chris Boucher and Thad Young. The Lakers have more to offer to us right now than, of course, the Toronto Raptors do. It's important to note as well that when dealing with teams in the NBA and you're looking to rebuild or just looking to retool, it's always better to try to make a deal outside of your conference if possible, because you don't want to have to run in them in early rounds in the playoffs. I'm not saying the Bulls are going to be doing this, but you never know where this trade with the picks and everything could lead you down the road, and maybe this could make the Bulls more, competitive right away. It can make the Raptors competitive around the same time, and it's better to make a deal with a team that's in the other conference that you would only potentially face in the finals. Once again, very far down the road. I don't think the Bulls are a contender right now. Obviously, they're around a playing team. They're playing like a bottom feeder, and they need to make some moves instantly. The other prospects of this deal, of course, are if Caruso and DeRozan were to go to the Lakers. I think that the deal would feature probably LaVine and Caruso or DeRozan and Caruso. Caruso, although a lot of Bulls fans and front office think he has some value. However, other teams probably don't give him as much value because he doesn't contribute near as much on the offensive end as the other two, being DeRozan and LaVine. His defensive offering is better than LaVine and DeRozan combined, but he is so limited offensively that you really have to understand he's pretty one-dimensional. LaVine, of course, is just a scorer when it comes to that, not that great as a defensive player. But when you're looking to score points on the basketball court, LaVine can do a lot more of that for you than Caruso can. And in the Lakers situation where they have Jared Vanderbilt and they have some depth right now on their bench and lots of 3-and-D wings, they don't really need another defensive player. They're interested in it because their guard depth at defense hasn't been that great, but I don't think it would be the main focal point of a big trade for them, whereas LaVine or DeRozan definitely could be. I would worry if I was the Lakers if DeRozan would clash with LeBron and AD. LeBron has shot the ball better over the past couple of years, but he definitely likes to take it inside more, and DeRozan isn't a guy that plays to LeBron's play style out around the perimeter. That's more of what Zach LaVine does. I think this fits the Lakers more than the Raptors, and if a trade was to be made with the Raptors, could I bring up that could be DeMar DeRozan? Could he go back home to the team that traded him so that they could win a championship? How does he feel about Toronto now? That's very hard to say where he stands on that, and he is still out with a family matter, and Billy Donovan came out to the media and actually said that they're going to give DeRozan as much time as he needs for this family matter. Once again, I hope everything is okay. It just happens to be strange timing with LaVine in so many trade talks. We're going to get into more of this in the next episode of Bulls Digest. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you leave a like and comment down below. Subscribe to the channel if you like what you saw. We'll be doing it every day. Lots of content to come for you coming up in the next couple of weeks with the in-season tourney ending in December. And I can't wait to see you in the next one. It's been your host, Joey Mercer. It's me signing off.